of something like this. Absolutely horrific. I can't say what's worse. It just seems that the detrimental effect, because of the way women are more open with expressing their hurt and their pain, and men, we tend to internalize it. It seems that it's worse with men because then it creates monsters out of them, and they become the monster that the monster did to them. You understand what I mean? That's what I mean, that it seems worse, where women will pour out and say, this happened to me, you know, I need help, blah, blah, blah. But men, because it's so embarrassing and hurtful to us, we internalize it, and then they turn into a monster, become reckless and violent because they don't want to tell what happened to them. These mothers, some of these mothers bringing in men and not checking them out. I've talked about it, and damn it, I'm going to keep on talking about it. You got to check out who you bring, not only around yourself, but around your children. The girls ain't safe, and neither are the boys. You just can't let any old one come into your home around your babies, around these little innocent princes and queens. You can't do that. How is it that you go to a car lot, an inanimate object, and you sit and you scope it out and you ask questions? What year is this car? How is the transmission? How is the engine? How do the brakes work? How do you get new parts? Then you go to another car lot and ask the same question. Then you make the best decision with this inanimate object. But some damn silly ass Negro comes along and kicks a little game to you, and you just let him in with no questions, hardly any questions or investigation. Your life and the life and safety and well-being of your children is at risk, and you don't ask no questions? I'm saying this to you not to be judgmental, but because I love you. Because I love you. Again, I'm a counselor and a therapist. I see this all the time. Hell, you don't got to have no degree to know that. To know that you got to ask questions about who you're bringing into your circle, and especially if you got children. That's how this bullshit is happening. Oh, well, you got that cap on your head and you got them beads on. I never thought I'd hear someone who professes to be a man of God speak in such a way. Well, maybe you never met a real man of God. I'm just speaking it to you straight. Yeah. They hung 3 pedophiles and hung them from a crane there in Yemen for killing and raping a 10-year-old boy. Go look at the pictures. If we had that kind of law here and that kind of deterrent here, I guarantee you this crap wouldn't be happening. I guarantee you, because it's a strong deterrent. They're letting you know, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. If you recklessly steal watches and bikes and stuff you don't need, your hand is coming off. We're going to warn you. But if you're stealing because you're hungry, we're going to feed you. But you don't need a bike. You don't need a watch. You don't need those things. That's a want. And if we catch you stealing, your hand's coming off. But guess what? If you go to Islamic countries, you don't see no one-handed people. So who's the barbaric one? Those who reward people who molest children and then feed them 3 square meals a day, let them go to prison and get all buffed so they can come out and bully more people? Or the ones who make a deterrent and say, you will not do this. You're not going to be reckless in the land. And if you do, we're not going to waste the taxpayers' money. What they say, it costs $30,000 a year to imprison someone. It's just a waste. They say we're going to return you to the earth where you can be some good so your bones can fertilize the earth. They got rid of those 3 men in Yemen. Check it out on Facebook. But with the rape and the sexual abuse of our children, how does this stop? If I had the immediate solution to it, I would offer it to you. They're not going to incorporate Sharia law in America. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So what is the solution other than, again, and sisters, don't take it the wrong way, but a lot of this is how this is happening in our community, in the black community. I showed a book, I believe it was yesterday, and it was called, what was that book I had? Violence in the Lives of Black Women, Battered Black and Blue by Dr. Carolyn West. Violence in the Lives of Black Women. It's in my library downstairs. Battered Black and Blue. And it gave the statistics on how many 8-year-old black girls are subjected to sexual abuse, and it's mostly from stepfathers and boyfriends of the mother. As early as 8 years old, girls being not initiated, but introduced to sick sexual activity as early as 8 years old. Fingering, fondling, forced oral sex, penetration, anal sex, the whole damn nine at 8 years old. And we wonder why some of our girls are so damaged. No one else is hardly talking about this. But the hour of power, we have been talking about it, and we're going to keep on talking about it, because with me being a therapist, and I ain't just talking about black girls, that is my main priority. But I counsel white people too. So all these people putting false narratives out there that Brother Sharif hates white people, hate is wasted energy. I am for my people, but eventually to free all of humanity. And the things I hear about sexual abuse with all people, but mainly my people, because that's who I'm around, it is absolutely horrific. And that book talks about how a lot of this is happening. Mothers bringing boyfriends in, may marry them, and they are sexually ravaging our children. And then the family don't want to talk about it. A deep, dark secret. You will talk about the bitch down the street that you don't like. She looked at your man wrong. She owes you $25. Or whatever y'all beefing about that's probably really insignificant when you look at the scale of life. But Uncle Leroy is damn near fucking the whole family and you won't say nothing about it. How does that work? Is that justice? Is that right? Those men, if they're guilty, in Yemen, they got what they deserved. And kudos to the officials there in Yemen who used Sharia law. When are we going to stop rewarding criminals for ravaging our women and our children? I'm sorry for the vulgarity of this message, but don't lean on that. Listen to the content of what I'm saying. And the Most High will straighten me out on the language, but he knows my heart, which is to free our people, for our people to be safe no matter where they are, especially our children, and for our women to be respected at all times, wherever they go and wherever they are. Man, that brother, man, he's rough, he's vulgar. But no sister will be able to come and say, man, he disrespected me. I didn't feel safer. If anything, you should feel double safe around me. If you're a sister. And if you're a child, I'm not going to do anything to hurt you. All right? This is Brother Sharif with the Hour of Power. If you're bold enough to share this, share it. I know it's a little rough, but it's the truth. If I misspoke anything, check me on it, and we can talk about that. But I don't want to hear about my language and the vulgarity of it. I'd rather be vulgar with language than to be guilty and to be silent on the sexual abuse and the mistreatment of our women. Brother Walter said America promote this type of animalistic behavior in the system, these animals on the hand. I can't see the rest of it, but thank you. And brother, I'm glad you are doing okay. Brother Walter, please inbox me. I've been concerned about you. I didn't know what was going on with you, brother, and I didn't know how to get a hold of you. But I'm glad that you're okay. Please, 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 and I hope you don't mind me saying it on this platform, that I was concerned about you. And please inbox me and just let me know that you are right, and let me know how to get a hold of you. But I'm glad you're okay. You're a warrior. You were in my prayers. I didn't forget about you. I just didn't know what, to think. So I'm glad you're okay. This is Brother Sharif with the Hour of Power. Go to Hour of Power, Sharif Hamid on YouTube. Subscribe and share the channel so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. I leave you in peace as I came. Assalamu alaikum.